Mrs. Baird's has been a part of Texas families for more than a century. While many of us grew up with the brand, others are new to Texas and maybe getting to know them for the first time. Here with some easy meal ideas and more on how the company continues to give back to local families is Shane Sumrow with Mrs. Baird's Bread. Hello there.
Good morning. Thanks for having me back.
Absolutely. We always talk about how, it's a real person, Mrs. Baird was a real person, and somebody who had a heart of gold.
Absolutely. So yeah, Mrs Baird was her name. Well, everybody calls her Grandmother Baird, even though it was over a century ago in 1908.
That would be my great-great-great-grandmother.
Great-great-great-grandmother. 1908, she started baking bread out of her home in Fort Worth, and she had to support her family, and it was very difficult back in the early 1900s. Think about it. Her husband had gotten ill. She had 8 kids to support. What did she know how to do best? Obviously bake the best loaf of bread on the block. So she started baking bread out of her home. Her 4 daughters would help her bake the bread, and her 4 sons would help deliver the bread on their bicycles. And she would always provide fresh bread for her neighbors there in Fort Worth. Word got out that Mrs. Baird had the best loaf of bread on the block, so the neighborhood grew, and we still provide bread to our neighbors. Our neighborhood's just very large right now.
When you say the words fresh bread in these parts, a lot of people will go, oh yeah, do you remember when? Like we used to do tours of the Mrs. Baird's bakery, but it's part of our culture, a part of a lot of us growing up. But we also realize that tens of thousands of people move to Houston every year and move to Texas, every year. So they may not be familiar with the story.
Right. Well, see, Mrs. Baird's is only baked and sold in Texas. And you're right. If we were born and raised in Texas, it's a household name. But for those coming into Texas, we know that Texas is pretty popular. We're getting a lot of influx from other states where Mrs. Baird's is not available. So if you are not familiar with Mrs. Baird's, we want you to give you a try, and we have something for everyone.
Yeah, let's go through kind of some of the choices here.
So obviously our number
one. Can I just say that when I was growing up, it was you just had a slice of white bread, that was it.
Well,
right?
I was going to say the large loaf white is our bread and butter. That's our number one seller. But we have something for everyone. We have honey 7 grain in the small loaf. We have 100% whole wheat if you need the 100% whole wheat bread. We have butter bread. We have a honey butter bread now. We have the regular loaves. We have the small loaves. We have Texas toast, which you can't.
Honey butter bread. I did not know about a honey butter bread.
This is one of our newer ones, and you can see that the smaller. A lot of people said we can't eat a whole loaf before it goes bad, so we want a smaller loaf. So we listen. We give everybody what they want. We also have a big bun line, hot dog buns and hamburger buns.
We have a big bun line.
Well, it's funny. On the back of our delivery trucks, one time we had an ad that said we haul buns.
And you do, yes.
We do. So we have hot dog buns. We have 3 varieties of hamburger buns with sesame seed and 2 sizes of hamburger buns. And, we always have to have a sweet tooth as well. Nini was a great baker of bread, but also sweet goods. And so we have our famous powdered sugar donuts.
Absolutely. You and I both know about these because
we certainly do.
Always had one in your lunch at school?
I did. So back in the day, we made a regular sized donut, and it would come in a 12-count package, and my mom would put 1 powdered sugar donut in my lunchbox every day.
I, on the other hand, would take my lunch money, and I would go straight to the machine, and I would buy the whole sleeve.
Get the little 6-pack.
Okay, I'm going to taste this. Oh, the honey bread. Okay, so
that's
you have
the honey butter bread.
That little hint of a little sweetness there. Okay, good. All right, so breakfast, lunch, and dinner, you got something for everyone that could be easy and out the door.
Right, so now the school has started, we're looking for easy ideas for the entire family. So you're right, when you're getting ready for school, we just have some Texas toast here, toasted with some peanut butter on top. You can also put honey with some fruit.
Well, you get your protein, you get the carb for energy. Yep.
And if you're really good, a little treat, you can have 1 powdered sugar donut.
There you go.
And then for lunch, if you're looking for something for the lunchbox, just a simple sandwich. You can put anything between 2 slices of bread, right? So we just have some simple lunch meat, some mustard cheese.
But let's do it right.
You got to put the chips on the bread. And then, of course, if you're good, you get, like I did, you get 1 powdered donut in your lunchbox. Look at that crunch.
This just took me back
a few years, right?
To the cafeteria. I remember they're like, look, I put my chips between my. So okay, all right. And of course, a great hot dog anytime.
Hot dog, hamburger, and again, nice little dessert, if you will. So.
Yeah. All right.
If you're good.
Yeah. If you're good. We're circling back around. We want to thank you because you have been such a great part of helping us to feed kids and families throughout the year.
Well, as you said, Mrs. Baird provided bread for her neighbors. Obviously, she sold the bread, but she also said to her sons when they delivered the bread, if a neighbor didn't have the money, or she dealt in coupons back then, where she was very innovative, but if they didn't have the money to buy the bread, to just give them the loaf, because she knew that the neighbors needed bread. So we continue her vision of helping our neighbors still 116 years later. Every single year, we do our Fighting Texas Hunger program. It's in June. We know that school's out in June. We just started school back, but in June, school's out.
Well, school's out. Kids oftentimes don't have access
to
that free meal, right?
Exactly.
And then, of course, when school starts, they have the meal through the week, but not over the weekend. So.
Exactly. So it all comes full circle. This past June, we provided more than 180,000 loaves of freshly baked bread to our food banks here across Texas, including more than 20,000 fresh loaves here in Houston. And with Backpack Buddy starting up, you're right. Those same kids who need the meals in the summertime, now they need meals for not only themselves but their families on the weekends. And we think that the Backpack Buddy program with KHOU and the Houston Food Bank is a perfect fit. And so this is our 6th year to be partnering with that, and we could not be more proud to do that.
Well, thank you so much for that. All right. For more information about the great baked goods at Mrs. Baird's, visit their website at mrsbairds.com. And remember, when you buy from them, you help the cause. We want to give a big heartfelt thank to Mrs. Baird's and all of our partners for supporting the KHOU 11 Backpack Buddy program. That campaign is happening now through August 28th, closing the weekend meal gap for chronically hungry children in our community. Your donation provides nutritious food for students to take home. Scan the QR code on the screen to make a donation, or you can text FOOD to 71777, food to 71777. Even $10 provides 30 meals for a child who needs it most. Thank you for helping us to stand for Houston.